What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of the show. Today we are talking about how our friends, 36 friends of ours in the last 6 weeks, have gone on to create $413,000 of revenue, cash collected as creatives, as self-employed photographers, filmmakers, social media managers, digital strategists, whatever they might be. And we want to break down today what they are doing so well to actually attract a lot of business and what some people would think right now, which is a little bit of a tightening economy. Some people feel like their businesses are shrinking or things are getting harder. There's not enough money moving around. The brands don't have budget right now. They're holding off, or people aren't wanting to book as big of wedding packages. And we're here to tell you there's still people definitely booking stuff and paying really good dollar to do so.
Yeah.
But it's coming down to people that are doing the right things. And we want to expose you guys today to some really cool stories and 5 key things or 6 things that our last round of the 6-week Creativ Rise Mastermind that just wrapped up the other day did so freaking well.
Yeah.
And we're so proud of them.
So good.
Shout out to round
Fun.
13. Round 13 made $413,172 in just 6 weeks. That is crazy. Now, if you break that down, we had 36 businesses in round 13. If you were to break that down, perfect even split, cut it right off the top and spread it out to everybody, which it never breaks down that way. But if you were, that is $11,477 per business in just 6 weeks. Now, the important thing to note is that these are not businesses who started the mastermind 6 weeks ago doing 6 figures. No business other than like maybe 1 or 2 was actually already at the 6-figure rate. A couple.
Yeah, I think we had like 3 people that were at
3 out of the 36. Yeah. So less than like 7 or 8%, less than 5%. So the key here is that these businesses just all learned how to make over $400,000 in just 6 weeks because they focused on the foundational things that really, really can make a difference in your business. And so we're so excited to share those with you today and just pick off a couple things that round 13 did really well that you can think about and you can apply to your business today. Just get excited about.
Yeah. So I'm going to shout out some wins from week 6, our final week of the mastermind. It was such a momentous, fun, energetic week. There were so many wins. So bear with me. I'm going to shout out all of these wins so that we can prove to you that this $413,000 is real.
It actually happened.
Is real. Okay. Shout out Lori and Brian. They booked a $4,750 monthly recurring package with a client. It was their 3rd retainer they signed in under a week. They are now doing over $12,000 a month.
Yeah, they're doing, I think, close to 14 right now, which is amazing because they started the mastermind with 0 retainers and they now got $14,000 in monthly retainers. By the way, they are filmmakers and social media managers. They run an awesome content studio. So cool.
We said this was going to be short, but I guess it's turning into a long one.
But just to give you guys some context.
Yes, shout out to Raquel. She got a $2,800 deal, which brought her total amount she made during the mastermind to $10,400 during the 6 weeks, which is so
She is a brand photographer. Amazing.
She's a brand photographer, which is amazing. Michael from Canada did a $1,600 a month content recurring package for a brand client, which was awesome. Whitney landed a $15,000 project, which is amazing.
Huge, Whitney. Shout out to Whitney.
So cool. And then we got some more here. We have we got Glow Studio. We got Tammy from Glow Studio out of LA. She had a bunch. She had like a $6,000 brand package, a $5,500 brand package, and a $1,500 brand photo session, all in the matter of that week, which is so cool.
Shout out to Tammy.
I love this one. DJ, he was like, hey, this is not a monetary win, but this is a personal win. He's like, I was able to jump on a sales call and for like one of the first times ever felt so confident. And he's like, if I'd gone into a meeting like this 6 weeks ago, I would have not been able to do what I just did. So massive thanks to you guys, which is so cool. He's going to land that project.
Dan from the UK. Shout out to you, Dan.
We got Lena. She booked a $3,000 photo shoot, which was awesome.
And Elena quit her job. So shout out to you, Elena. Amazing. So excited that you're officially self-employed.
Lexi booked this awesome little $350 retainer for this one client that she's super excited to continue to grow.
She only has to post once a month as a social media manager.
It's great.
$350. It's pretty
good. Awesome. This one's so cool. Angelique closed $22,000 of deals in 6 weeks. which was unreal.
Mhm.
She's called Small Social Collective. She's got a crazy marketing agency. It's
Yeah,
awesome.
awesome marketing agency for small businesses, and she doubled her monthly recurring revenue in the 6-week mastermind, which is really cool. Super proud of her for
Yeah.
doing that.
Shout out to Brandon, made $300 for just talking to a church's creative team about AI, which is
Yeah,
awesome.
some consulting work in there.
James Hay also had a deal with a couple organizations where he landed $8,000, which is so cool. Michael from Canada, again, landed a $1,600 a month deal. We got Tyler. I love this. Shot a watch party for a mayoral election. $500.
I know. Hey, we'll
So
take it.
massive. We'll take it. We had Morgan and Kenna got a $1,500 one-off shoot, which is awesome.
Heck yeah, guys.
And they're also going to Mozambique in August to do some work for a nonprofit, which is super cool. Morgan Jewel, she got a 10 reels for $1,500, which is awesome for a local concrete business. This is the stuff
We
love
love
to
what
hear.
Morgan's doing. She's killing it.
Love that. We had Kyle Mize. He did $1,500 for a brand reel, $1,000 for their shoot. We had Cody. He funded $3,000 for a mini passion project, which is so cool.
Heck yeah.
Which is amazing. James took another, extra $500 on top of something that he was doing for a brand.
An
He
upsell.
added that in. Every little bit counts. We had Ezra.
Ezra had a huge week.
Tons of stuff. $2,000, $1,975, $1,525, $575, $500, $550. Tons of stuff, which was so cool. We also had Tammy. She had a $2,500 project close. We have, so many people. Lexi, a $275 one-off reel. And then we've got, so many. We could just keep going for forever. We've got Amber she had confirmed a refresh session of 15 images and 4 iPhone clips for $600, and we'll know by Sunday if the second brand session will be booked for the same amount. And so she's just crushing those one-offs as well. And we've got Tyler did a one-off project for a website intro video for $1,850. Brandon got a $3,200 a month recurring revenue deal.
Huge, Brandon.
So cool. Morgan Jewel said she got a $297 real estate listing. Sam Schroeder, this is awesome. He ended up pitching the guy he used to work for.
Quit his job in the mastermind.
Yes.
Pitched his employer and just got a $4,000
deal, which is amazing.
Selling some pin posts, which is amazing.
$950 shoot for Ben and Marcus. We've got
$1,200 retainer trial.
Love that.
For Rachel and Jacob.
So good.
Huge, guys. So many wins. There's some more wins in there. The reason why we want to share those with you is because when you celebrate other creatives that are killing it and that are making things happen, getting deals, two things happen. One, they get to be celebrated, which was amazing. Two, it changes your whole perspective from their competition to they're somebody I need to celebrate and borrow some momentum from. And then you can learn from what they are doing so well, right? Which is the whole point of this podcast. We want to break down to you why these people are making money right now, why there was $15,000 deals, $3,500 retainers being landed, another $12,000, $15,000 of recurring revenue added to people's businesses, doubling the size of their business in the last 6 weeks. There's a couple different things they did, and we're going to jump on into it right now. So if you're taking notes, here is what round 13 did so well that helped them make $413,000 in the last 6 weeks. Number one, they got brutal clarity. So much clarity on what they sell and who they sell it for. So we started the mastermind by really helping people understand and dial in what are your offers, what's your pricing structure on those, and what needs to change. And I'm not going to lie, this is probably where we get our hands on everyone's business in week 1 and week 2, and pretty much everything changes. I don't think there's anyone that ever comes into the mastermind that just goes, oh no, yeah, your offers are perfect, we're not going to touch those. Like, everyone's offers always need to get more specific. They need to get positioned better, and they need to get priced better for sure. So one of the ways that a lot of people have grown their revenue over the last 6 weeks is not only from learning how to earn new business, but it's just from shifting the current business they have, learning how to increase their pricing so that they're just getting paid more. So that's the first thing you want to consider, is that in order to grow fast, you really need to have crystal clear clarity on what you're selling, who you're selling it to, and what the pricing on that is. Because if you are and this happens when people come to the mastermind, we have to help them get through this. If you are I will do anything for anybody at any price type person, you are not going to grow quickly. Those businesses just don't grow quickly, right? So that is very important.
Which leads us to our second point, is that these people, in order to hit 400K plus in the 6 weeks, they got ruthless about their pricing. They cut out low-hanging fruit
Mhm.
that was sucking up their time. Now, this doesn't mean that they didn't take maybe smaller deals in order to build relationships with somebody, smaller offers, things like that, because they did those strategically. So, what we encouraged everybody in this mastermind to do, and we're encouraging you to do on this podcast, is cut out the things that you know are just sucking up your time and not leading you anywhere. Doesn't mean that you don't take maybe something that's lower ticket, again, as long as it's strategic. But if it's not strategic,
Mhm.
cut it out. Spend that time actually focusing on sales and marketing to actually sell the core offers that you really want to sell rather than bogging down with little mini offers. And
Yeah.
what that also looked like was cutting out really, really low packages when you had multi-tier packages. So we had a lot of people who were like, hey, I'm offering grad shoots. I have like this mini session that people can book for like $200.
I've got like a 30-minute, a
Yeah.
45-minute, and a 60-minute.
And we're like, just cut the 30-minute. Like, don't even give them the option.
Mhm.
And people will then have to book the higher one, and probably not a lot of drop off, to be honest. And
Yep.
that absolutely proved true. I know Claire in this mastermind did that really
Claire's
well. She
killing
cut
it.
out the low packages, and she was doing grad sessions all the time. And she's like, oh my gosh, I'm like doubling my revenue
Making so much more. Yeah.
and barely working that
Yeah.
much harder.
Same thing goes with a lot of people that were shooting weddings in this mastermind. They would have like so many different packages, and really they weren't all that much different. And so it's giving people decision fatigue when they look at them, and they're priced so similarly, the amount of hours of deliverables so similar. And Christy and I just come in there and go, we need to create some separation, create some space inside of these packages or your pricing structure so that people can actually make decisions, because everything looks actually vastly different. So
Yeah.
if things are a little bit spaced out in your pricing structure, that's a good thing, because it actually helps somebody be able to make a decision. Now, if you want help with doing that, one of the tools that we use, it's totally free to you. Throughout the whole mastermind, we encourage everybody in our mastermind to use it, and they use it a ton, is the Creativ Rise pricing calculator. If you're in the wedding space or the brand space, free, go to creativrise.com/pricing calculator, and you can use the same pricing calculator that we help everybody go to the mastermind use. So their pricing is actually strategically tiered and structured so that they can actually grow their business. So
Yeah.
people got ruthless about their pricing, guys, and that is the easiest way to grow your business by 10, 15, 20, 40% is simply by changing your pricing structure and just getting paid more for what you do. So that is very important. Number three, the third thing that this round did really, really well that you might need to take some notes from, or if you're already doing this, you need to double down on it, is they focused very heavily on clients they could work hard to earn, but then would keep paying them every month or every quarter. And we call these retainer clients, recurring clients, right?
Yeah.
So the idea is you work really hard to acquire a new client. And instead of having to go, okay, great, I just did that gig, I just delivered that piece of content or that library or that gallery. Now I got to go find a totally new client. I got to start from ground zero. We're trying to reverse that. The best businesses, the best six-figure businesses where people don't burn out, they grow their businesses, especially if they want to grow to the multiple six-figure range. This is our businesses as well. We've had to focus on recurring clients. So this is a little bit more specific to the commercial and brand space than the wedding space. There's actually opportunity to do this in the wedding space, working with like wedding brands,
Absolutely.
different vendors in the wedding industry. However, or even just looking for more ways to have your
Or to
wedding
upsell
clients
your clients
become
and
more
all of that.
recurring clients
Yeah.
for albums, for couple shoots, 1 year anniversary shoots,
Anniversary,
whatever that
yeah.
might be. But so think about that. But really focusing on how can I earn a client once and then get that lifetime value of that client to go up and up and up and up. So instead of it being a $3,000 gig, how do I make it $24,000 over the next 12 months, over the next 16 months, whatever it looks like? So we work with everybody inside of the mastermind to really help them understand what that model could look like for them.
Yeah.
And this round went really hard on that. Example, Laura and Brian came into the mastermind doing one-off projects. They had a successful business prior to
Yeah.
this. They wanted a lot
One-off
more out of their business, but they definitely wanted to grow their income and make it more sustainable. And our answer to that was you need to get into a recurring model. They did that. They took our advice.
I think
They worked
before
super hard.
Yeah, before they were in the mastermind, they were doing about 1,800 a month in recurring. Now a lot more in one-off, but they were doing 1,800 a month recurring, and
Yeah.
now they're doing over $12,000.
Yeah, they're leaving the mastermind with like $12,000 to $14,000
Of
in recurring
recurring
revenue, which
on
means it's signed
Yeah.
contracts coming in every month, and they've got a
amazing.
couple more deals, I think, on the table. So
Yeah.
really excited for them. But that's a great example of going to businesses and trying to find recurring problems, positioning yourself as an expert that can help solve recurring problems for them every single month or every single quarter. And then because of that, You earn the client once, and then that client will continue to pay and pay and pay you down the road for the next 6, 12, 18, 24 months, which is super important. So
Absolutely.
that's a really big thing. And the last thing I'll say on that is this group did a really good job of pitching test shoots. So a
Yeah.
lot of the times you don't want to ask a brand or a bridal brand or some type of boutique or anyone you're looking to have a retainer with to marry you on the first date, the same way I never approached Christy, although I should have, and said, hey, you should marry me the second I met you, right?
Yeah.
I was actually kind of a little bit like that. But yeah, who fell in love first? Anyways, but point is that you want to do the same thing with your business clients, with your relationships in business, right? You
Yes.
want to give them the ability to go, hey, try this on a little bit, test this out, and I want to show you the value so that you can see what a longer term relationship would look like me with. So a lot of the people in the mastermind that are pushing hard for retainers right now are operating off test shoots. Some of these test shoots aren't free. They're the normal pricing, but they're not locking them into a 3 or 6 month retainer right off the bat, which makes, oh yeah, just commit to a 30-day, test run with us. And then we'll reconvene and see what it looks like. That's a great way to get into the retainer space
Yeah.
where it is approachable for you and it's also approachable for the brand.
And then the fourth thing that these guys did really, really well is they went hard on marketing, like
Mhm.
really, really hard. They were doing like 3-week posting challenges where they're like, let's post every single day. They're working on strategic pin post, which if you haven't gotten our pin post course, you guys, it's literally the 3 pin posts of how you should strategically operate those so that it nurtures and sells a client for you and then
Yeah.
it set it and forget it. Like make it once,
So
then
worth it.
forget. So awesome. But they were going so hard on marketing, and that is why they saw growth. Like I think so often in businesses, we do all the stuff. We create the offer, we create the pricing guide, we get all the things dialed, we got our website dialed. It's like pouring gas into a car and then never pressing on, sorry, pouring gas, yes, pouring gas in the car and never actually pressing on the accelerator.
Mhm.
Have to press on the accelerator. You have to do the things you need to do in order for people to be able to see you, know what you do, and want to buy from you. So
Yeah.
they did an unbelievable job about putting themselves out there in like new and fresh ways in their businesses, and they saw the results.
Yeah. It's really just coming out of the point. You got to give your clients the option to buy from you, right? Like,
Yeah.
when was the last time that you actually put it on your story saying, I've got these slots on this day. I would love to do this service for you. DM me this and I'll get back to you about this. Like, we had Amber do that. She's an amazing, round 13, amazing family
Oh
birth
my
photographer. Some
gosh,
of the
she's
best
so
work
good.
I've seen in a long time. Shout
Yeah.
out to you, Amber. And Amber is starting to get more into brands as well as not just families and birthing sessions and all that stuff. And she strategically built a sales-based post on her stories, put
Mhm.
it on out there. She got like 4 inquiries like that day in the next 24 hours of people saying, would love to do this with you.
Yeah.
And she started closing them. She put a message in the group chat and she was like, wow, like it's crazy that when you're actually strategic about it and you call people
Yeah.
towards your offer, people will respond. So when
Yeah.
was the last time you did that? You should probably be doing that a little bit more. We could probably all do that more.
Yeah.
Round 13 did a really, really good job of
Really good
that.
job.
Number 5 is they did not shy away from following up. So one of the things that is super important about this type of skill is that a lot of creatives will count themselves out of the game before the game even starts. And what I mean by that is they will go, well, I'm not going to send the email because I know I'm going to get rejected. Oh, I'm not going to pitch that person because I know I'm going to get rejected. I'm so nervous to send my pricing guide or immediately to the bride who just inquired because I think she's probably going to say no to me. And what this round did really well is they went, screw it. I don't care if they're going to say no. I'm fine if they don't answer me the first time. I'm fine if it takes 2 or 3 emails before I ever get a response from them. I'm fine if it takes 10 emails. When you switch your perspective to knowing that 75% of your deals are going to come from follow-ups or come from somebody saying no, and then you having a conversation with them and eventually them walking back to you and saying, I'd really like to do this. When you start getting that in your head, that is actually what produces most of your deals, it's really going to change how you put yourself out there. So round 13 did a great job of not being worried about rejection of
Yes.
pitches, rejection of sending pricing guides out, rejection of sending proposals out, sending out an invoice. They just went, I'm going to click send, and then I'm going to follow up the next day and click send, and I'm going to follow up 4 days later and click send. I'm going to follow up a week later, click send. and I'm just going to keep doing that and keep
It's like
doing that.
depersonalized it in some ways,
Yes.
which is really smart.
Yeah.
It's
When
really
was the
good.
last time you thought about how when someone doesn't answer you, it's actually not personal? They might just be busy,
Yes, they might
or
just
they
be
might
busy.
just not see the value yet. And until you
Yeah.
can keep describing it to them, keep on them, not in a weird or aggressive way, but just in like, hey, bumping this back up. Really think there's some cool opportunity here for you guys. Would love to chat about this. Here's my calendar. Like the more you can actually put yourself in proximity for someone to say yes, the more yeses you're going to get. Round 13 did a phenomenal job of that, which is really
Yeah.
cool.
And the other thing that they did, and the last thing we'll talk about that they did really, really well was honestly community. Like they put themselves in proximity to other people who were going after it, encouraging, excited, and really believed that they could do it. Right. They were surrounding themselves with people who would give them like totally unsolicited feedback at times,
Yeah.
right? Like they would post something and it's just like, I think you should do this or this or this. But that type of feedback loop is what created so much value and so much good like iteration on their offers, their pricing, and it also just gives people confidence, right? Like, what do you guys think about this price? Does this seem like too much? And everyone's like, no, go for it. Or actually, here, price it this way, or do it this way, or offer it this way. And that created so much confidence for people to be able to really move forward. Joey and I were literally having a conversation about this literally today, but more in like a personal way where it's like you become who you hang out with. Like you
Mhm.
become who you hang out with, who you surround yourself with, you start to become like slowly and slowly. And think about yourself and how you view your business right now. Just take a little barometer of yourself and go, am I super encouraged and fired up about my business? Okay, well, who am I around? Who am I constantly listening to? Who am I constantly around? Am I just like feeling like, oh, it's not possible or whatever?
Mhm.
You may be around a lot of people who are discouraging towards what you're doing, towards the passion that you have. And it's not to say you cut those people out, but you need to intentionally add people
Yeah.
in
It's the
to
addition.
serve that purpose. Think about the additions that you can make in your life and maybe hard or uncomfortable or cost you something to be a part of something like that or be around people like that, whether it's like social cost of like, oh, I'm going to DM this person and ask them to get coffee and I don't even know them and they're actually more successful than me. Like, what if they reject me? Depersonalize it, send the message because you never know. And the value of adding someone in outweighs the potential rejection that you might feel if that doesn't
Oh my
happen.
gosh, 100%.
So add people into your life, into your business that are either right alongside you, that are also amped, that believe you can do it, that are farther along than you, that can help you along. Your business will, if you do none of these other things except for the community piece, your business will change, right? If you forget the rest of this whole podcast, but you focus in on that one thing, promise your business and your life will change. So if you're someone who's like, hey, these wins sound amazing. Like I have so much FOMO about not being in round 13. We were laughing. We sent out a survey at the end. Every time we're running one of these, and Michael from Canada, he's like, at the very end of the survey, he's like, I'm just kicking myself because I almost joined round 12 and I didn't. And he's like, I'm kicking myself, but now I'm a round 13 grad and it was the best decision ever. And he urged you actually in what he wrote, he said, if you're listening to this, do not wait. So if you don't want to wait anymore, our next round, you have to wait a little bit, but it's
Yeah.
coming this fall. We are so excited for round 14 of the Creative Rise Mastermind.
Yeah, it's gonna come really quick. We
It's
always start just after summer. At the tail end of August is really when things like kick off in terms of all the updates come out about when it's
yeah.
gonna be. We start early September every single fall. It's gonna be great. So if you want to be a part of round 14, you got to get on the wait list. There's already a wait list building, and yeah, we sell it every time. We only take 35, 36 spots, 30 really to 35 spots. This year we added an extra person because she was so in and really was the right fit for her. But we only take a certain amount of spots, and that's why Christy and I are able to get our hands in these businesses and actually help generate results like the ones you've heard today. So if that's you, you're like, I'm in for that. I'm a photographer, a filmmaker, social media manager, an influencer, a content creator. If you run an agency, whatever that is, and you want to grow your business by building a really significant and solid six-figure foundation for your business, round 14 is going to be for you. Cannot wait. Go to creativrise.com. You can get on the wait list. And as we said earlier on the show, if you're just hanging out, you're listening, maybe you're newer to Creative Rise, if you've not yet got the free Creative Rise pricing calculator, spent a lot of time doing all the calculations, so you don't have to think about it.
Yes.
It's really going to help you get a solid number, at least a base number for you to figure out your pricing. And it's just also really fun to play around with because it's all the sliders and all the fun calculator stuff. So go to creativrise.com/pricing calculator, get that calculator totally for free. It's in the description of the show wherever you are listening. And if you're watching on Spotify, hit the subscribe button or the follow button. If you're watching on YouTube, hit the subscribe button. If you're listening on Apple Podcasts, you should be watching it on video. If you want to watch the video, come to Spotify or come over to YouTube. But if you're on Apple Podcasts, truthfully, I'm an
I
Apple
get it.
Podcast
I'm an
person
Apple
still.
Podcast
I still
person
listen to
too.
a lot of my podcasts on there. But yeah, make sure you follow the show wherever you are so you get updates on when all the new episodes drop every single week. So you can get more, just support and encouragement for your creative business by focusing on the business side, which is exactly what the show is about. I'm Joey. This is Christy, and from the rest of the team here, hope you guys are having a phenomenal week. Hope you're encouraged that you can actually go out, become self-employed, and really, really succeed at doing what you love. We'll catch you next week.